How's it going, everybody? My name is Dushan, and today we're going to talk about how to make your video image better, or your meeting, kind of look, the way that you show yourself during meetings and everything. How can we improve that even by a little? Now, this video is actually going to be 1 out of 3, and I'm going to call this the level 0 video, mainly because this video is going to talk about what you need to do as far as just making a video look better. And the challenge of this video is I'm going to try and do it with a shot that is already unfavorable, something that is, if you just shoot it, there could be things that be hindering how it looks, and then we're going to apply techniques on how we can make this video look even better. So the first thing I do want to hit on this is going to be your somewhat camera. What are you using to record, or what are you using during your webcam meetings and stuff like that? And let's try and go with, the no cost option. Let's just say, you have 2 options. Either A, you have a webcam that's connected to your computer already that you can utilize, or B, you have your actual phone camera. In my example, I'm going to use my phone camera because I feel like phone cameras just not only have a little bit better quality, but there are a lot of functionalities with cameras on your phone that are just not available for your computer, such as autofocus, even going into a pro mode, changing the quality resolution, and the fact that you have different cameras normally with the front and the back facing to where you can actually utilize the stuff. Now, the second thing you want to do when you have your device is you want to make sure that everything is focused correctly, or at least level. So in the shot that you see right now where I'm in, I have my camera recording a little bit higher. So when you're using your phone and everything, you want to make sure that your phone itself is just a little bit higher, where you could use boxes, to hold it up, put on the side. If you already have like a phone tripod or a selfie stick, you can kind of utilize that as a way to kind of keep it up. But what you want to do is make sure that it's at an angle to where you can directly look at it. And always, whenever you try to record a video yourself, always try to be best as possible in the middle of that frame shot. You always want to make sure that, of course, you're the center of focus, or if you're recording something else that you're always the center of focus, you're in the middle, you're easily visible, framed and everything, and a lot of the other techniques later on will kind of help make sure we maximize that. So that's kind of like the first step of, using your camera or webcam forever. But the next step that I do want to kind of talk about is actually lighting, because lighting in some cases are actually, pretty important, just because it's what helps kind of makes this glow happen on you. But a lot of people think that you have to go buy expensive lighting to do that, and that's not really the case, especially if you're not trying to be very professional, or you're not trying to go head first into kind of getting something just to kind of make your video look better. So in the case of this one, I would say try to use lights that you already have. You have probably a lamp somewhere. You probably have one of those lamps that have the little shade on top of it. Use whatever that you have around your house the best you can. And the thing that you kind of want to look out for is you want to see if you could try to find a maximum of 2 lights. And that's because you want to have either a light that's behind you, kind of like how you see this color light kind of behind me, or you want to have, or definitely you want to have a light in front of you. And the light in front of you is, of course, is to illuminate yourself, while the light behind you is just to illuminate your background, just to try to have some separation and look a little bit different feel to it. So in the case that I have some IKEA lights that I got for $15 at IKEA. Back in the day, I used it for other cases, and I felt like they were perfect because with the cap around them, they have a good focus outward, so that way they can shine directly on me pretty good. And I'm going to use it for this shot right now, just to try and kind of give you some looks. Now, another free light source that you have available to you, and is mostly going to be available to you if you're doing meetings and everything, is of course is going to be daylight. Daylight is going to be your best source of light, because it's normally the best light that not only is not really too harsh at some times of the day, but is very evenly spread out across your face. It doesn't have too much, creating too many shadows and everything. And as long as you're facing forward and it's hitting you, you're going to be lit up really well. So that's another way you want to do it if you're recording during the day, or you have meetings during the day. Just kind of face yourself looking outward instead of the light looking behind you. Don't do that. It'll make you look darker and may be hard to see see you sometimes. Make sure the sunlight's facing you, and you'll have a good picture just by doing that without having to spin anything. Now when you determine your lights, the ways you want to use your lights are two different ways. Of course, it's going to be utilize them in the front and utilize them in the back, but I want you to play around with this concept. Like I said, with maximum 2 lights, you can easily light yourself up, but in some cases, having a light in the back may help. In some cases, just at least illuminate the image a little bit better. Sometimes if you want your back to be completely dark or just blacked out, having a light on you will work out really well so you can pop out. Just utilize the lights in different ways and try to find the look and style that you like. Now, one other last topic about lights I want to get into is really diffusion, and that's being able to damper the light itself to either make it softer, kind of to spread it out, or just to kind of reduce the intensity of it, because a lot of lights that you get out there do have a pretty high intensity, and if you're not using a shade, which the shade would be a great diffusion, then it's going to be really just a bright bulb in front of you. So if you have a white towel or something just big and white that you can kind of put in front of it that the light can go through, use that. That actually works out really well. Maybe not as far as spreading the light, but definitely limiting the night how intense it is, because if you don't have a light that you can actually change how bright it gets and everything, then using something like just the cover in front of it is going to give you a nice soft look to your video. Now those are 2 main topics when it comes to improving your video, but one important aspect that's actually more important than the first 2 is audio itself. And the reason why I didn't really start with audio first is because sometimes it's just nice and easy to kind of get the other stuff out of the way and then focus on what's really important, because this is part of the one thing, if you need to spend any money on, it's definitely going to be audio. Everybody knows if you watch a video and it doesn't have good audio, it's hard to really continue that audio going forward. So what we're going to want you to do is, again, first use what you already have. If you're using your phone, more than likely your phone came with some headphones, especially if you're using a lot of more higher end phones. A lot of these headphones have microphones already, so it's good to kind of use those, kind of put it in your shirt, take it out, put it in your ear, make sure the little mic is a little bit above your collar, and you'll be able to record yourself. You can also use, if you use a webcam, use that same headset to put it into the computer. If you had already bought like AirPod Pros or something like that just to use for your everyday listening and stuff, use those. Those are great. You can easily hide them within your ear, no cables or anything. They pick up your voice very well. It's just a great way to record yourself with. And of course, if you have headphones, you want to put on your head, or if you're using, headphones that you're already using for your meetings and everything, that all works out great too. Don't worry about how you look in headphones, just worry about making sure that you get that clean audio, because definitely clean audio is the best way you can do it. At least you're not annoying the people trying to watch you, listen to you by having bad audio. Trust me, as soon as you hear bad audio stuff, people will try to tell you to be quiet, shut your mic off, whatever might be the case. So let's not put yourself in that situation. Use whatever you had to have better audio. Now the last part I want to touch on is your background. Now if you look at the background that I have right now, I have this big black background with sound panels and stuff, just because it nice gives me a new look. And the image that I'm using on the camera, I'm going to go with that same image. But the thing I want to pretty much hit on with this background is that it is very simple. It is a single color, it is flat, everything's covered, everything looks nice. This is the easiest way to have just a clean background. If you're in a meeting call, some programs have a way to blur out the background and stuff, but some things, as far as when it comes to mess and having a lot of stuff laying around, those things really catch the eye of certain people, and sometimes they'll focus more on that than on you. So the first thing you kind of want to do is find a nice flat clean background to start with, and then you want to make sure that anything in front of that background is either clean, put together, or just moved out of the way. Now you can have stuff in the background like nice little props and everything, and normally if you're in an office you might have kind of like a filing cabinet in the back with something on it. If you're going to use props, make them look like they're there on purpose, but make them look subtle. The ways that I kind of look at it as how to best kind of handle using props is that use very few of them and put them in ways where people can recognize them easy. That's cool, and then they go on to it. There are different ways you can use props, but I think when it comes to utilizing props, less is more, and props that kind of more talk about kind of you and themselves, like make words and stuff, or just picture art, look a lot better, especially if they're clean, spaced out right, and not trying to take all the attention away from people that you're either working with or viewers of your video. And with that, those are the techniques that I feel that you should try to work on first before you A, think of buying anything expensive, B, try to utilize particular programs and everything. You have stuff around you, and what you should always try to do is utilize that the best that you can. Also, make sure your computer's turned off so you don't get noises like that. With that, everybody, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to go ahead and send you off with my camera phone and the headphones that came with it, just to kind of test out the audio, have y'all listen to it, just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do with just only 2 pieces of devices and the sunlight and nothing else. But hopefully everything that you saw today really did help you out. And if there's anybody right now that is working from home that could be using these tips in order to help themselves, or if it really did help you, please share it with them. And of course, if you want to see another video like this, I want to do 2 more, which show you what you can do with a little bit more money. Please, again, subscribe to the channel. Now, see you next time when that video comes out. With everything said, hopefully everything that you saw today will help you make a better and a more informed decision tomorrow.